Hey guys, Panda here, and I know it's been a while since my last video. I hope you guys are still enjoying C0. Now today we're going to talk about Ganyu, and if she's worth pulling or not. Her banner will be up in about 4 days at the time of recording, so you might be wondering, if you're a new player, is she worth pulling still? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Ganyu is one of the best DPS characters in the game. She's going to make your life 1,000 times easier in Genshin because of the ranged AoE. Like, she's ranged, big AoE, and does a lot of damage, even with little investment. She's also a very versatile character. But let's actually just talk about her kit first. So if you're familiar with playing as Amber, Ganyu's kit is basically that, but better. And cryo, of course. But the majority of Ganyu's damage comes from this. Her charge shots. You see how it has to charge twice and then you shoot it? It shoots a charged arrow and then you see it go up and then there's an AoE. So it does 2 instances of damage. So you do the charge, shoot the arrow, and then it does the AoE. Fun fact about that charge shot is that it doesn't share an ICD. So you can actually do an elemental reaction twice. So for example, 2 melts. For big damage on Ganyu. Now her elemental skill is pretty simple, just like Amber, but again, cryo version. It's not a cute Baron bunny, but it is a flower that will taunt enemies and then eventually explode, just like Amber's. And then her burst, well, Amber's is a tiny circle that rains down arrows. Ganyu's is a gigantic circle that makes it shoot down these icicles. And it lasts much, much longer. It also increases Ganyu's damage while she's in it. But seriously, the majority of Ganyu's damage is this. Basically, when you pull for Ganyu, she turns Genshin Impact into a third-person shooter. You're going to be doing this most of the time, trying to aim at enemies, and you get bonus damage, right? If you, for most enemies, it's the head, right? Like if you hit like a humanoid, headshots do more damage kind of thing. It basically does turn into a third-person shooter once you have her. Now, for building Ganyu, she has, like I said, very versatile character. You can use lots of different weapons for her, and they're all viable. Lots of different teammates, lots of different artifact sets. So I'll get into those fairly quickly. I'm using the Very Distant Hunt. I don't recommend this. I just happen to have one, and my Ganyu's crit rate was low because I don't have her built as a freeze setup or a blizzard strayer. But anyways, a lot of 5-star bows are good for her if you have any of them. Seriously, Thundering Pulse, Polar Star, the new bow for Tignari's banner, the Hunter's Path. If you have that bow, that's really good if you plan to build Ganyu around Melt. However, if you plan to build around Freeze, maybe not so much. Amos bow is also good. Even the Aqua Simulacra, if you have that. Skyward Harp. If you only have 4 stars available, the Prototype Crescent is a decent choice. Seriously, there's a lot of weapons you could use with Ganyu. They don't have to be 5-star, but Prototype Crescent is, I believe, a craftable bow? 4-star bow? I don't remember, actually. It's either craftable or it's one of the common ones you get from pulling. So you have a lot of options for bows. Don't worry if you don't have any of the 5-star ones. Mine doesn't have a 5-star, and she still, in my opinion, performs great. Artifacts. So, I have Wanderer's Troop on my Ganyu, and this is because I like to switch between Melt and Freeze Ganyu. If you want to just make Ganyu for one particular team set, so if you just want just Freeze Ganyu, then you would go Blizzard Strayer. If you want just Melt Ganyu, then you would do Shimenawa's Reminiscence. Those are both solid sets. You can even try the new one. The new Dendro one that increases your attack or elemental mastery depending on the elements on your team. That's also viable. But I just keep Wanderer's Trip because I switch between the two fairly frequently. And then the way you build her is the same you would build any DPS. So crit rate, crit damage, Some elemental mastery again is okay for melt, but if you're doing freeze, elemental mastery is not needed. You do not need energy recharge on Ganyu because again, the burst is okay and it does provide like a buff, but it's not necessary. So crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage are the main stats you're looking for here when building Ganyu, and then of course, cryo damage goblet. Talents again. I haven't even gone her burst or her skill to a high level, but the attack talent, that's the one you want to go for big damage. You want to crown this thing as soon as you can, or you know, if you don't have a crown, at least level 8 or 9. Absolutely, you want to get this up as fast as you can. Quick mention about the Constellations is mine is at 0, and I think she already performs well. However, if you do want to hardcore invest in Ganyu and get these Constellations, it's a bit of a tricky slope here because her Constellations are meh until you get C6. Like the first two, okay, this one gives you more damage because it reduces cryo res. That's good. This one gives you an extra elemental skill. Without C6, this doesn't matter, so it's kind of like whatever. And you get here, you get more damage increase with your burst, which is, you know, again, it's nice, but this is a C4 on his 5-star. But when you get to C6, this is what makes Ganyu one of the most broken characters in this game. This makes it so every time you use her skill, the next time you try to do a charge shot, you don't have to actually charge it. You could just shoot an arrow and it will be a charge shot. And because of her C2 giving you 2 elemental charge, like two elemental skill charges, you can do this twice to get 2 charge shots instantly. Remember, her charge shot hits twice, the charge arrow itself and then the AoE. So you're doing 4 instances of damage in the span of like 3 seconds. Very, very, very strong. However, that is like a whale's dream. But again, I'm at C0 and I think Ganyu still performs amazing. I still use her a lot for challenges like Spiral Abyss. She is great for clearing groups of enemies, especially when you pair her with Venti. She's also really, she does good boss damage as well. That being said, let's talk about her teams. So this is probably one of her more popular teams, known as the Morgana comp, because of the names of the characters. You have Mona, Venti, and Diona. Now Venti can be substituted for Sucrose if you don't have him, or Kazuha for more single target damage if you don't need the hardcore CC. But this group will kill anything that isn't cryo resistant, or you know, like a cryo slime, or has a cryo shield in no time at all. Very, very strong comp. You use Diona for healing and shields, Venti to group up all the enemies, Mona for hydro application, but she also, her burst makes enemies take more damage. And if you want, you can even slap on a Thrills of Dragon Tails, the 3-star weapon, basically giving the next character you swap to a damage boost. So you use her burst, you swap to Ganyu, and they're frozen, and then charge shot away because they're all in Venti's burst and can't do anything. If you do have a Blizzard Strayer set, because you do want to do just freeze with Ganyu, then you get so much crit rate for free that you don't really have to invest into it too much. It's okay if you get it on your substats a bit, but you can just hardcore focus on crit damage at this point. Because you have Cryo Resonance, which gives you extra crit rate, and then you have the Blizzard Strayer, which gives you about like 40% crit rate on frozen enemies. So your crit rate is already solved. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this video. I mean, Ganyu is she's just a very, very strong character. I recommend pulling her if you're brand new. I think you'll like her playstyle a lot. Unless you're on mobile, I suppose. If you're playing on mobile, aiming with her bow is gonna be kind of tricky, but I know a lot of y'all play on PC or consoles, so you know, I'm sure you'll be fine with just aiming on her on that. She's a lot of fun. Again, easy to build. Lots of team comps that she can work with. Lots of teammates she's okay with. Lots of different artifact sets. Again, there's not just one way to build Ganyu and then that's it. She has a lot of different playstyles and teams that you can experiment with, see what you like the most. If you do decide to invest heavily on her, and I mean the constellation stuff, she becomes one of the strongest characters in the game at C6. No joke. She is crazy, crazy strong. In fact, I believe a lot of like whales do like a solo Spiral Abyss challenge with her where they just use Ganyu and they have her just like incredibly stacked at like C6 with a 5-star bow, etc. And she's able to just to clear the Spiral Abyss by herself. That's how strong she is. But if you have any questions on Ganyu, feel free to leave a comment down below. Good luck to you on your pulls when she's out in the banner in a couple days. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.